happens mostly in clinical work is that they're talking about gait and how you're walking and so on. Now, if you imagine recording walking, you don't come at it from a starting position. You're watching someone in the clinic walking about. So they don't conveniently stand in a starting position. They will be moving, mostly. And the other thing you have to remember is you are watching people moving in real time. They don't repeat it for you exactly as you want it. They will just go on doing whatever they are doing. So I think it's a real challenge to notate that sort of stuff. But the convention they use for repeats is that they will put the repeat sign at the beginning. They use the same ones as we do. Whoops. And if you're going on forever and ever and doing it a million times, they don't put anything after it. No blank spaces, no X's, nothing. That means keep doing it forever, right? Or as long as you want. If you want to do it forever, you don't want to say how many times, but you do want to say where they stop. You will then put in a gap, you will say X, and you will notate their final position in there. So it's very different to the way we deal with it. Other thing they do is they don't use time signatures. Because why would you? They're not working to music. But they do use rhythm notation signs. And so, you know the rule that we learn that you never ever have a subbeat immediately after a bar line? Doesn't apply in clinical work. Because the bar lines don't have the same significance. They're just separators. They're nothing to do with reference to the music, they're nothing to do with reference to time. So you could have let's say, just say 2 steps, do 3 steps, and you could have, we'll have that on that, and that on the main beat, and that on that. And you'll have your starting here, and go on from there, whatever. They may not even have a starting position. Just go. Yeah? We should perhaps be going forwards. Might make life easier rather than stepping on place. So they use the same signs to talk about rhythm. They mean the same things in terms of divisions between a basic pulse, but they don't have any relevance to music or any relation to music. So bar lines don't exist. I'm trying to think of other things. Other thing that they're particularly interested in is things like foot function, finger function, and we can thank them for the notation of fingers, particularly the bits where you, I can't do it, you know, where you divide the finger up, whatever, and you're talking about the phalanges and all of that, which is stuff that you all go, I can't read that, I can't write it. But they use it quite a lot. Any questions? Anybody got any?
Yes.
Yes.
At what point did they decide to have a wider stave to fit more information? Was that right from the start?
I think that was right from the start. The reason being that for dance purposes, having 3 places between the staves at which you can write a sign, hanging from the line, in the middle, or sitting on top of, was sufficient. In the clinical work, they're often comparing very close relationships. So having the ability to do slightly detached from the line above, so you can add 2 more. You've got hanging from the line, just detached in the middle, just hanging, just sitting above it, or sitting on. So it gives you like 7 divisions rather than 5.
So sorry, it's 5 lines, but it's more separate, right?
Yes, okay. The wider stave lines. When we're writing, in the dance context, we have through the line, hanging from it, in the middle, sit on top, through the line. And that's enough, mostly. In the clinical work, because the staves are wider, you can do Yes, but you use a bigger stave because the small stave, it's unmanageable.